So today is that day. Sorry, my voice is fucked because I recently went to see h.e.r. Mafia and it was the most intense concert I've ever fucking been to. But that's why my voice is like this. Today is the day the Grammy nominations have come out. Grammys are, for the most part, kind of a load of bullshit, especially in recent years. They seem to have a particular bias against awarding specifically hip-hop albums any of the biggest prizes. So I'm not really expecting much in terms of diversity when it comes to the biggest categories. Maybe some superficial diversity. I'm expecting to see like Old Town Road or something like that in the song or record of the year, but I'm not expecting to see any traditional kind of rap songs nominated in those categories. I'm interested in some of the smaller categories as well, especially the alternative music album category. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a shitload, but I'm just going to go through the main ones and the ones that kind of interest me. So the first one that we've got is Best Alternative Music Album. We've got Big Thief, UFOF, James Blake, Assume Form, Bon Iver, I, Vampire Weekend, Father of the Bride, and Tom York, Anima. This is actually quite a strong category, believe it or not. Especially the James Blake album is one of my favorite albums of the year. I think that's his most concise album that he's released so far. The Bon Iver album, it's not the best Bon Iver album, but it's still a solid addition to his catalogue. And the Tom York Anima album is my favourite solo album of his. I've got a limited edition vinyl of it in my room. Out of those, I'd probably be going for the James Blake Assume Form album, but I would not be angry if Tom York or Bon Iver won. The Vampire Weekend album is probably the weakest out of those. It's quite long and meandering. It's probably the worst Vampire Weekend album that I've heard. I'm not the biggest fan of them by any means, but I didn't really fuck with that album. Next, we've got Best Rap Album. We've got Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, Meek Mill Championships, 21 Savage, I Am Greater Than I Was, Tyler Creator, Igor, and YBN Corday, The Lost Boy. I mean, it should be a foregone conclusion. Igor should be winning this. It's easily the best album out of all of these in this category. I'm surprised that the 21 Savage album's been nominated. I really enjoyed that album. I think it's easily his strongest so far. Revenge of the Dreamers 3, it's quite long, but for the runtime that it has, it's relatively consistent considering how many contributors are on that album as well. I do enjoy that album for the most part. YBN Corday, The Lost Boy, I don't see the hype. It's just not for me. I found there was nothing outstanding about his rhymes or his flow or his cadence, his delivery. It just left quite a boring taste in my mouth. I didn't really like it. Meek Mill Championships, it's okay, I guess, but I guess this year hasn't been the best of years in terms of popular hip-hop. I feel some of the best hip-hop releases have been more the underground, the h.e.r. Mafia album. You had a lot of English rappers have been releasing stellar albums, Slow Tie, Little Sims, Kano, but never in a million years would I think the Grammys would ever acknowledge those, so I'm not surprised by that. But I was maybe secretly hoping that Ginger by Brockhampton would get nominated because they've been quite popular for a while now, but unfortunately not. But I mean, if Igor isn't winning, then I mean, we know that the Grammys are institutionally fucked, but if Igor doesn't win, then any shred of credibility that they have is gone out the window. Okay, so we've got Best Pop Vocal Album. Beyonce, The Lion King, The Gift, Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, Ariana Grande, Thank You Next, Ed Sheeran, Number 6 Collaboration Project, and Taylor Swift, Lover. I mean, there really is only two actually good albums in here. That's the Billie Eilish album, the Ariana Grande album. Beyonce album was kind of the same kind of formulas, the Black Panther collaboration album, except just nowhere near as strong. The Ed Sheeran Number 6 Collaboration Project was fucking trash. I don't know why Stormzy agreed to be on that. I don't know why Dave agreed to be on that. He even got Kenny Beats producing a song on there. They must have paid them a shitload of money, but that album's horrible. Taylor Swift Lover, I mean, it's not the worst Taylor Swift album, but it's just there. She just has to be in there because she's Taylor Swift and the Grammys fucking love her. But the Billie Eilish album or the Ariana Grande, either of them are worthy winners. I think they're both really, really good pop albums. We've got Best Pop Solo Performance, Beyonce Spirit, Billie Eilish Bad Guy, Ariana Grande Seven Rings, Lisa Truth Hurts, Taylor Swift You Need to Calm Down. Again, I'd say Billie and Ariana, again, those are the only two songs that I really actually like. I'd say Bad Guy slightly more than Seven Rings. Spirit, it's not the worst song on the album, it's probably one of the better ones on the Lion King album. The Lizzo song, I personally don't see the hype around Lizzo. I think that a lot of her songwriting is very self-centered and egotistical, and it's fine to be egotistical in an aspect of songwriting, but if you're doing it without any of the wit or the charm that someone like Kanye does, then it just comes off very, very superficial. It's just not for me. I recognize that she's a very good singer, but I'm not a fan of her songwriting. And that Taylor Swift You Need to Calm Down song is fucking shit. Okay, we come to Best New Artist. Admittedly, I'm not familiar with a couple of these in this category. With Black Pumas, who I've never heard of, Billie Eilish, Lil Nas X, Lizzo, Maggie Rogers, Rosalia, Tankard the Bangers, and Yola. I mean, Lil Nas X, he had to be nominated because he had the biggest song of all time this year, so that was inevitable. And Billie Eilish debut album, it was brilliant. There's not much more else to say. Rosalia, she's had a pretty strong year as well. She's kind of bridged the gap between the Latin world and the English-speaking world. I quite enjoy a large portion of her music. But again, I'd be gunning for Billie Eilish to win in this category. Okay, now we've got Song of the Year. Lady Gaga, Always Remember Us This Way. Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. Brandy Carlisle, Blink, Bring My Flowers Now. Her, Hard Place. Taylor Swift, Lover. Lana Del Rey, Norman fucking Rockwell. Lewis Capaldi, Someone You Love. And Lizzo, Truth Hurts. Lana Del Rey, that song is fucking amazing. That album's amazing. I'm surprised they nominated that for Song of the Year, considering it's called Norman fucking Rockwell. That's one of the standouts. It's one of the best albums of the year as well. Billie Eilish, Bad Guy, again, it's a very, very good pop song. Wouldn't mind if that one. Lady Gaga's Always Remember Us This Way. I quite enjoyed A Star Is Born. I quite enjoyed the soundtrack, so I'm not surprised that that's in there. But Norman fucking Rockwell's definitely the standout out of those songs. Now we've got Record of the Year. Bon Iver, h.e.r, Billie Eilish, Bad Guy, Ariana Grande, Seven Rings, Her, Hard Talk, Her, Hard Place, beg your pardon, Khalid Talk, Lil Nas X, Old Town Road, Lizzo, Truth Hurts, and Post Malone, Sunflower. It's a mixed bag of a category. Again, not a fan of Lizzo, so I wouldn't be going for that. Post Malone and Sway Lee song Sunflower is a very, very good pop song. I mean, it's safe, it bangs. I would not be mad if that one. Kind of surprised that they nominated Bon Iver for Record of the Year. But h.e.r is one of the better songs off I. Again, Bad Guy, Seven Rings are in there. Old Town Road had to be in there. It's a meme song, but if you look past the memeability of the song, it is a pretty catchy and melodic, fun, hip-hop, trappy country song. But out of those, probably Bad Guy or Sunflower. Now I've got the big one, the big boy, Album of the Year. Bon Iver, I, Lana Del Rey, Norman fucking Rockwell. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Her, I Used to Know Her. Lil Nas X, 7, this is an EP, what the fuck. Lizzo, Cause I Love You, and Vampire Weekend, Father of the Bride. Why has Lil Nas X's 7 been nominated? It's an EP, it was explicitly marketed as an EP. I don't know how the Grammys choose to categorize things, but I don't really get it. Again, Billie Eilish and Lana Del Rey, those are easily the standouts out of those. I'm kind of disappointed that Tyler didn't score a nomination in this category for Ego, especially with its, pop crossover appeal that it definitely has. Commercially successful as well. It went to #1, so I don't know how the Grammys choose these things, but Lana Del Rey, Norman fucking Rockwell is definitely the strongest out of those, and I'd be more than happy if that won album of the year. So that's the major categories. Again, I'm not going to go into best comedy album or best Christian recording because I don't give a shit. Most people don't give a shit, so they're not, fuck it. But yeah, I mean, the Grammys will roll around, and again, people will be pissed off and be, I'm never fucking watching the Grammys again. And then next year they'll be sitting by their computer, just like I am right now, or waiting to see the nomination. So we can claim that we don't care, but secretly we do. But Grammys don't validate artists. They don't detract from whether you enjoy a song or not. It's just interesting to see how they try and appear diverse, just sort of surface level nominations, but when it comes to handing out big awards, when it comes to the album of the year, they'll fucking give it to Taylor Swift or Bruno Mars, etc., etc. So, my hopes aren't high, but there were some cool and surprising nominations this year, so I'm not too mad.